So the Genius Act was officially passed today, not the market structure bill, which is what we really want, because again, that gives clarity on what's commodity, what's currency, and what's security. However, again, one thing I've been talking about a lot is stable coins, right? And who cares stable coins if it's a dollar, right? Besides the one-to-one backing, what I've been talking about is you need a neutral settlement. It needs to run on rails. Are all the different corporations going to be creating their own stable coin? We're going to get into that later, but what I'm going to play in this clip is I have Kirsten Smith from Solana talking on CNBC. Now, why someone from Solana talking about
Are we
stablecoins?
going to be creating all these different ecosystems where every retailer, every business has their own stable coin and that's how you transact?
Well,
That seems
I think
very inconvenient.
yeah, no, I think that's the big question. I mean, obviously having interoperability is very good. There are a couple of major issuers of stablecoins that are issued on multiple different chains, including Solana. And so I think, with how the marketplace plays out is sort of beyond my level of prediction. But what I know is that, blockchains like Solana, for example, are very fast financial rails. And what we can do is when you put these assets on there, you can trade, as you mentioned, and you can send money around the world. You can settle trades instantly. There are a lot of benefits to it, and I think it'll be really interesting to see the way different companies incorporate this. But I think for the end user,
You see, the lady from CNBC, she brought up a great point. Is everyone just going to create their own stable coin, their own network? And it seems like it doesn't all make sense. So there you go. That's something I brought about in my last video, and what I talk about on the spaces is you're going to need a neutral settlement. You're going to need something to, facilitate all the different currencies. So what I'm gonna have next, my next clip right here is JP Morgan, Citibank, and Bank of America are already considering stable coins. All right, they've been talking about that. I've already made a video on Bank of America's patent for blockchain and distributed ledger tech. So here, go on my X, okay, go to Lil Crispy. Yeah, you can see right there, JP Morgan, they've been ahead on stablecoin. So they've had like a JP Morgan token, JP Morgan coin. Um, and with that being said, with the different institutions all creating and issuing their own stablecoins, they're going to need the neutral settlement. And just like Solana, if they're on the Solana network, you can move the asset quick and cheap, right? And that's the whole thing is it's how amazing how you can put the different assets on the rails. Now, I'm going to keep it at that for this video. The only other thing that I want to get into is one thing that I've seen is just how the housing market is going. Um, Currently, at the moment, there are more sellers than buyers. So people are putting their house for sale, but the houses are not selling. Therefore, like what they're doing is lowering price in hopes of it selling, but it still does not sell. So, we're having an issue with that. So you have the asset managers, people like Blackstone and BlackRock and Vanguard purchasing up the homes. All right. What they do is keep it at that and then they raise prices. So people just keep renting. So, I'm not trying to scare anyone or put any bad news. I just want to talk about what's current and what's relevant because I think it all ties together. Guys, thank you so much for watching my video. This is not financial advice and do your own research. Thank you.